What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American, back again with a new video, and today it is time for the beginning of prediction week, whatever. And we are, of course, going to start with the 2024 United States Senate prediction. So I do this every month because I think it's a good idea to see how the map shifts over time with recent events, recent elections, etc. It's the best way to go over time to see how are things trending for whatever. And of course, we are starting with the Senate. We're going to probably do the House on Monday. Tuesday, we're probably going to do a presidential thing. Either way, it's time for everybody's favorite part of the month. Hopefully it is, because these are fun doing these. Now, before we continue with today's video, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the Twitter accounts in the description down below. Guys, go follow Real American Politics on Twitter. Those are some rookie numbers. We gotta get those numbers up. And of course, join the channel today. Guys, just for $3 a month, you could join Real American Politics, or Real American, whatever you want to call it. I go by Real American Politics. Either way, if you want to join the channel today, just click that big, beautiful blue join button down below. It helps support the daily content we all know and love. So I hope and recommend you join the channel today. Alright, everybody, let's get into it. So, like we have done for recent predictions, we're moving away from margin predictions, because at this point in time, American politics are just getting so chaotic and so random that the only way you can realistically, predict these elections is by probability. So, for example, safe is a 90%. That means, just an example, the state of Arkansas, the Republican has over a 90% chance of winning. That's a safe state. Likely, you go from a state like, I don't know, let's just say Virginia in this case. It's like a 78% chance Democrat. I'm not saying that's the official prediction. I'm just saying that that's what it means. Just how likely is it this party will win that state? That's how we're doing it, because margins, with how undecideds are breaking now, it makes no sense. Sometimes they break for the incumbent. Half the time they don't. Half the time they vote for an independent. It's getting weird around the board. So we're going to go based on probability. And we got to, of course, start with, the ones that I don't think you got any chance of really flipping whatsoever. So California. Now, Kevin McCarthy, stop it. Stop this crap that we could potentially win California. Look, the only pathway, and I made a video on this, is called Operation Chaos. If you don't know what that is, it's essentially if 3, 4, maybe 5 major Democrats run for that Senate seat, you only need 1 or 2, well, 2 Republicans in that case, and if they split the vote evenly, the 2 Republicans would move on to the general. That's the only way you could seriously, win California, is if you get 2 Republicans in the general, which I find unlikely. But there are good Republicans that you could do that, and Democrats, there's at least 3 major Democrats running so far. There may be a 4th or 5th one. Maybe get that auditor guy, Lanhee Chen, I think that's his name, and get, the governor guy. Those are the 2 candidates we can run, and maybe something happens, because those 2 did pretty damn good in 2022. We just got to see what happens, but for now, California State Democrat. Washington, we're not even... I got fooled twice on... Well, I got to say I got fooled once on. I'm not falling for that again. That was a scam. I am never listening to consultants or insider sources ever again. I swear they're full of bullshit, but whatever. Hawaii, New Mexico, even if Ron Keddy runs again, which I don't see, I find it so unlikely that it is safe. Democrat. You got, of course, the state of Minnesota, which I don't really see any chance of it flipping. Maryland, Delaware, New Jersey. Could New Jersey be closer than expected? Yes, you got a loser in that seat, but even then, he's probably going to hold on by quite a bit. So it's going to be Democrat. I think it may be a bit closer than expected, but that's about it. Connecticut, New York, Connecticut, blah. Rhode Island, Massachusetts. technically Vermont and Maine are independents. They're Democrats. Stop this. Oh, they're actually, they're actually independents. They vote Democrat 99% of the time. So I'm not playing this game of, well, actually, these are safe states. So these are, I would say, kind of the guaranteed safe Democrat seats. Could things change? Maybe Zeldin runs in 24 against Gillibrand. Maybe it could look closer, especially if Cuomo primaries her. Yeah, but we're not talking about hypotheticals for X, X, and X has to happen. Just how realistic is that scenario? As of now, I find it unlikely, so that's why New York, I still have it as 100% chance it stays Democrat. Now for the Republicans. Utah, Wyoming, both a Nebraska seat. Now, the special. If I'm not mistaken, there will be a primary for that special. I am hearing that there's going to be somebody from the right to challenge Ricketts, which I don't know how true that is, but hopefully, because Ricketts isn't bad, but we shouldn't have Ricketts as, that be the conservative senator of Nebraska. He kind of is. I mean, Deb Fischer's not really, she doesn't do anything. Like, it's inexcusable we have two just meh Republicans in the state. That's absurd. In Nebraska, hopefully one of the two get somehow primaried out, or just retire. Somehow we get somebody more conservative, but whatever. It is safe Republican either way. Missouri, I dare Democrats to throw tens of millions of dollars against Hawley. Hawley went against one of the stronger incumbent Democrats in 2018 in a blue wave. I understand Missouri is a bit more Republican than the country, but even then, a popular incumbent in a blue wave, and Hawley beat her by a likely margin. There is a 0% chance Hawley loses. I dare Democrats to spend money on Missouri. Mississippi, good news. It appears Roger Wicker has a major primary challenger. It appears we're going to get a Bay State senator to run against Wicker. Now, does he have any chance of winning? I don't think so, but it is nice to see that somebody's standing up, and hopefully we give it to Wicker. He is awful. What is up with the Deep South? Outside of Katie Britt, Tommy Tuberville, and sometimes Tom Cotton and Kendi, the Deep South has some awful Republicans. I'm not including Tennessee in the equation. I'm just saying Alabama they have good senators. Mississippi has just bad senators. Louisiana, Kennedy's decent. Arkansas, Cotton's okay, good, except on foreign policy. South Carolina's a mess. Tennessee's good. Florida's all right. That's inexcusable, but either way, enough of the rant. Mississippi will be Republican. Tennessee, look, just like Missouri, spend $150 million on Tennessee. I would be so owned. These Democrats are delusional. Look, there's a difference between, coping and hopium or whatever, and just flat out being delusional. Oh my God, there's a protest in Nashville. That means this is a blue wave in Tennessee. You can win Nashville by the Nashville area by 30, 40 points. Tennessee would still be Republican if the math is correct, which I believe it is. So, Tennessee ain't flipping. That's just a delusional cope by leftists. Indiana, I would say, would be safe Republican as well. All right, this is the for sure, no matter what you do, no matter what baloney you push, these states are going to stay Republican or Democrat no matter what. No argument, no dispute about it, except from lunatics. I think Missouri's going to be competitive. Hawley's going to win by so much, it's not going to be funny. But that's that. Now we got the 11 states that they may not be, they're probably some of them that are safe, but we just got to see. We got to go through each state. These are just the ones that you could make an argument they're not safe or maybe a toss-up. Either way, you get the point. So let's start East Coast to West Coast. We usually go West Coast to East Coast. Let's switch it up a little bit. So Pennsylvania. The only question is Bob Casey's health. That is the one issue Democrats may have in the state of Pennsylvania. Outside of that, it looks like Mastriano's going to be the Republican. And I want to put it as safe Democrat for now. Mastriano, I like him. I think he should run for a congressional seat. But, dude, don't run for a statewide office again, especially only 2 years after you got slapped. I know you got shafted. Let's be real, he got shafted with the funding stuff. And you can make the argument, oh, well, he would have still lost. Yes, but he would have lost by 15. So, Pennsylvania, in my opinion, would be safe Democrat in that scenario. Now, Virginia. Now, it appears Republicans are going to have a competitive primary in Virginia. Hunt Cow, I think, is running, and you got a Club for Growth guy running also in Virginia. He's like the vice president Club for Growth. I could be off, but it appears we're going to have somewhat of a competitive primary in Virginia, which it appears both the candidates are fine, or Hunt Cow, I think, would be a better candidate. The other guy seems okay. Now, you're going against a fairly strong, I would say a bit overrated, but still a strong enough candidate in Tim Kaine. I think it's likely Democrat for now. I think it's like almost a 90% that chance Democrats win the state of Virginia. The question mark is, with how Virginia trended in 2021 and 2022, will that keep up in 2023 and 2024? We just got to see. That's the big question mark about Virginia. Is there a reversion happening in Fairfax, in Loudoun counties? Because if there is a pathway for like Hunt Cow to potentially win. It's not likely, but that's the big question mark about Virginia. Florida, I'm not even playing this game. Rick Scott's going to win easily. The only reason it's likely he is one of the... every election he's ran in, he's won by like a point. He is so frustrated. He keeps shooting himself in the foot with just disastrous statements. Remember the tax stuff where we got to tax poor people. They got to pay their fair share. What the hell are you talking about? So I think Florida, in my opinion, it should be safe, but it is Rick Scott we're dealing with here, and we got to just see what happens. Who he runs against, which I don't know who he runs against. I don't know who would want to run against a statewide Republican, but Nikki Fried, I dare you to run against Rick Scott. I know you're the Democrat chair, but please, I would be so owned if Florida, oh gosh, the Florida Democrats going to nominate her, are they? Whatever. So Florida's likely Republican. Now, West Virginia. One of the first truly competitive seats of this prediction. I think West Virginia is likely Republican. Borderline safe. The question mark is who does he go against? Manchin. Is it Jim Justice or Alex Mooney? If it's Justice, it's a safe margin. If it gets Mooney, it's probably a bit closer, but I think Mooney would still pull it off. And it appears Manchin's actually considering a run for president. So there's that. I don't know what. If Manchin runs for president, I would laugh. That would be an automatic flip to the Republican Party. But who knows? If he does run, it's safe Republican. So, or if he runs for the presidency. So, I don't know why that's a thing, but apparently it is. Either way, West Virginia, in my opinion, is likely Republican. Now, in the state of Ohio, the big thing that may hurt Brown is two things. One, the partisanship of the state. Guys, this is an R+10 state at this point. Number two, with, I would say probably Trump on the ballot, you're going to boost turnout even more in northeastern Ohio for Republicans. With that in mind, however, Brown has two things going for him. Incumbency, which I still question how much that really matters. And number two, looks like Republicans haven't learned. Looks like there's going to be somewhat of a competitive primary in the state of Ohio. It appears that we're going to have Bernie Moreno, Matt Dolan, probably Franklin Rose. It's going to be a dogfight between the three. Maybe a fourth one like Warren Davidson may enter. I thought we learned. Stop with these nonsensical primaries. Now, hopefully Steve Daines does something. He has to cook something up, but who knows what happens in the state of Ohio. But I think Brown is going to lose. If Trump's on the ballot especially, Trump probably wins Ohio by a lot, like 8-9 points. Can Brown seriously do 9-10 points better than the top of the ticket? I really doubt it. I mean, he only did a couple points better than Obama in 2012, so I don't know. So Ohio is leaning Republican. Texas. I think Texas is likely Republican. Yes, Cruz is probably running, but I don't see who Democrats can run in Texas that could seriously beat him in a realistic sense. Like, there's a chance Texas flips, of course, but if Texas doesn't flip in 2024 with both Trump and Cruz on the ticket, it's not going to flip this decade. Stop it. And plus, who knows? A bunch of Democrats from Texas have been fleeing to Colorado. So we just got to see what happens. But I think Texas is likely to be Republican. And that alone gives Republicans the Senate majority back. But of course, we still got 5 seats. Now, Michigan. In the state of Michigan, it appears Democrats are themselves going to have a competitive primary. Now, does this mean Republicans will win, considering the Michigan GOP? No, but I think it's going to be a bit closer than expected. I think it is likely Democrat. I mean, in a presidential year, that's a one thing that may save Michigan GOP this year. The fact that with Trump on the ballot, it's been a presidential year, it's going to be a bit closer than it should be. Outside of that, the Michigan GOP, what the hell are you doing? Get off whatever drug you're on, I think it's like weed or cocaine or something, and realize your state's a trifecta Democrat state now. So Michigan is likely Democrat, but it's going to be closer just because it is a presidential year, and turnout's not going to be the biggest concern with Michigan or a state like Wisconsin, which my expectations of Wisconsin's a bit damper now, but it just, in my opinion, comes down to if Trump, or let's just say if somehow DeSantis wins a nomination, if Trump wins the state of Wisconsin by a point, there's a chance Baldwin loses. If he wins by 2, Baldwin's done. So that's why it's leaning Democrat. And again, we don't know how the primary is going to look. We don't know who the candidate's going to be, but it appears Tom Tiffany's setting up a run based on what he did for Kelly in northern Wisconsin. But who knows? He may not run. We may go with Hoeven. I don't know why, but it's looking like we're not going to have that competitive a primary. It seems like it's probably going to be Tiffany or probably Steele. I think it's probably going to be Tiffany, to be honest, but who knows? Who knows? It could change, but I think Wisconsin is leaning Democrat. Now, Montana. This is going to be one of the closest races of the night. Tester is a strong candidate. And despite the partisan lean of the state, what is his advantage is it's more of an elastic state. What does that mean? That means in Montana, you could see way larger swings. For example, Trump may win the state by 15. The Republican may only win against Tester by a couple points. With that in mind, I still think Republicans are just by the skin of their teeth favored in the state of Montana. The partisanship alone makes the uphill battle for Tester to pull it off in. Could he? Yes, he's a strong candidate, but I don't know. And it appears Steve Daines trying to cook something up in Montana, and Rosendale's trying to suck the Trump. I don't know how that's going to go, but Steve Daines has done a good job so far with clearing the way for somebody like Jim Banks in Indiana. But we just got to see what happens. Montana is, I think, tilting Republican just by the skin of its teeth. Now, the state of Arizona. This is where it gets a bit weird. You know, here's what I will say. It appears Steve Daines likes Masters. And I know people are going to say, oh, that means he's automatically unelectable. There was a thing, I guess Steve Daines met with Masters a couple days ago at a meeting in Nashville, I believe. It was a meeting somewhere, but it appears he met with Tom Cotton and Steve Daines, which is a good sign that they may be leaning towards him, which, yes, I want my man Masters in the Senate so badly, but you also got Sinema running, and it appears Sinema will run third party. So, with that in mind, it's going to be automatically a close race. People that think that this is a safe Democrat now, Sinema, she's going to pull more of these McCain Republicans from Phoenix. Down ballot, they still may vote Republican. Up ballot, they vote Democrat. Now, it's going to be close. It will come down to how many votes Sinema takes away from Democrats. And there's still a chance she doesn't run, but I'm just going to have this tilt Democrat for now. And Nevada, this is the problem. It's a Republican trending state. Very slow, but it is slightly trending Republican. The incumbent's not the strongest in the world. Here's the problem. Who's going to run? You know, I am more hopeful Republicans at the presidential level winning Nevada than I am at Arizona. But for the Senate level, it's the opposite. Because Nevada, who's going to be the candidate? You know, it's leaning Democrat just because we don't really know who the candidate will be in Nevada. Arizona, it's looking like people may be favoring Masters like Steve Daines, but Nevada, I don't know. Maybe the lieutenant governor runs or somebody. I don't know. I don't know. Guys, who do you think should run in Nevada? I don't think Laxalt's going to run, sadly, but the bench in Nevada, we got a couple good people, but I don't know if any of them are going to run in 24. Anyways, folks, that's it. This is my official Senate prediction for the month of April. I have around 52 Senate seats going Republican, 48 towards the Democrats. So we get 3 flips out of it. There is a chance for more, but we just got to see what happens. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video. Godspeed to all of you.